Today we are going to continue studying our chapter number 1, class 6 NCERT history, titled What, Where, How and When. In this chapter, in the last session, in the last class, we discussed what and where of history, and now we are going to talk about when in the last session we talked about what and where of history. If you want to study, what do we study? Now in this class today we are going to talk about how and when. So what we are focusing right now, that if we want to find out about our past, how do we learn about our past, what has happened? So the first tool that we can rely on and we use are the manuscripts. So this is one example of manuscripts. Manuscripts are handwritten documents and they're like books. Okay, and what material will they use? They're either written on palm leaf or on the paper or on the bark of birch tree. That tree is found in Himalayas. And most importantly, this all these manuscripts, they have a significant scientific value, historical value, because that we can relate using when we read them, we relate with our history of our country, and aesthetic value also. Now printed volume are not manuscript. If we have of these books, because manuscripts are actually books only which were written thousands of years ago. They are our they have very useful new knowledge content, but if we have printed them for circulation, so those printed volumes are not manuscripts. These what we see in the picture are manuscripts. Now they were written, if I use the word menu, if I break this word menu, so this manu means hand and script means write. So that is why we say that manuscripts are handwritten documents. And uh, this is again one more example to show what is a manuscript. Now there are some facts here, that manuscripts are the oldest one of the oldest Sanskrit manuscript is this one, which we still find, and it is dated from 9th century and dated to about 828 CE. Now what is this CE? We are going to discuss this today. And this is the one of the major manuscript that we have, the oldest one we have. Now as I told you that the birch tree, they are written on palm leaf and birch tree. Now where do we find this birch tree? This is found in Himalayas. Now there are certain reasons that why these manuscripts had not been used so widely thousands of years ago, because they were written on the leaves, so they could be easily destroyable. So that was a delicate material, so that had, if they were exposed to the weather condition, they could be destroyed very easily. Okay, so and they were to be used regularly, so they were delicate material, so they were easily they could be easily destroyed. And carrying manuscript, if you are carrying them from one place to another, it's very very difficult, so its circulation also remained very limited. Now manuscripts are ancient they're the Bhojpatra only, which I told you, birch tree. This is the same thing, and which we find in Himalayas. So we have very many poems written on this, and the language generally that we use is either Tamil or Sanskrit or Prakrit. These are the three main that we find. The language in which the manuscript. Okay, so we can just sum up on what we have so far discussed. So they are handwritten documents. I will just quickly go through this. They are generally written on palm leaves or on the birch tree bark, and the language is Sanskrit, Prakrit and Tamil. And they were not maintained by manuscripts. You will generally find what do we carry, what do we find written in manuscripts is your historical findings, your poems, epics. You will find plays. You may find lives of kings, the religious beliefs and practices of the old time. So this is what a manuscript generally consists. So the second we make use of to study and find out about how do we find out about our history is are the inscription. If you look at this, these are our inscriptions. These two pictures show the inscription that we have. So they are actually written on hard surfaces. Then the hard surface could be your stone, your metal, or the baked clay. So, and they also hold very historical importance, because if you compare them with manuscripts, because they are written on leaf and paper, they can be destroyed easily if they are exposed to, weather condition, and they are not maintained well. But because they are written on hard surface, so it's very difficult to for them to get spoiled or destroyed. So they have, like, they can be without giving any much effort, they can be preserved easily. So inscriptions are writing engraved on solid surfaces like rock, metals, pillars, or stone structures. And generally, these inscriptions, they were made and done by kings. And after winning some war, they used to write these instructions, like instructions to glorify the war which they have won, or if they want to pass some, judgment, or some orders which they want to share with their kingdom. So this is what they used to uh, pass on to their kingdom through these. So this is one difference that they have from the manuscripts, that the manuscripts can be destroyed easily, but not these. So they take very less effort for their preservation. That is, they are still till date they are preserved. Now coming to this, the man, he's over here is an archaeologist, and he studies. Uh, so the job that he does is that they excavate the material, the building, and whatever they find under the earth is could be either made up of stone, it could be made up of bricks. He may find a sculpture or painting that may be, good shape or may not be good shape. And they then study all these things to reach out to uh, some findings, some new theories, some new reasoning. And they compare what they have studied, or what other different uh, uh, findings are there. And they generally look for bones or wood which they can find, because it's very difficult for plants remain to survive, because you think a plant which has buried under the soil for so many thousands of years before would survive. It's very difficult. So that is why they look for the remains of bones and woods which they can study. Now, one more thing that we also talk about in history is the difference in lifestyle. There would be, difference in lifestyle of king and the common people. Obviously, because kings are rich, they have different revenue system, and the common people would be living differently. They will not be living as the king. And then traders and craftsmen will have different lifestyle. Then coming to a different region, because as I told you in the last session, that history is studied geographically, and geography is studied historically. If we look at this Andaman region of India, then people were because of their geographical location, they could have their own food, and the source was fishing, so they were not dependent on others. They were, independent as far as their food procurement was concerned. But the people who were living in cities, they depended on rural people for their food supply, because it was agriculture would take place only in the villages and the rural sector. So they were dependent on this. So this was again one of the factor that that we consider and study through when we study about history. So archaeologists are very important for one more reason, because as I just told you, that kings and, all rich people would keep their records of their, of their findings, of their victories, of their battles, of their lifestyle. But the common people, the herders, hunters, food gatherers, fishing men, they will not keep. So archaeology and archaeologists and historians, they help us know about the lifestyle of people. So this is very important thing, that why do we need, because of the findings of what archaeologists find, we get to know the lifestyle and the living, how the people in the common men, how were they living. That also we find out through archaeology only. Now, the last part of this chapter is when. So it actually talks about dates. Now, if I ask you dates, so what would you understand by date? Either you will talk about the present day, or the month, okay, and the year. So like as you can, if you are to write today's date, how will you write? Like this is the day, this is the date, and this is the month, and this is the year. So historically dates are very important because we get to know that what happened after the year. So it chronological order means in a series it talks about. Okay, and it further tells dates help us to understand the changes over a period of time. So it goes in a, like if the dates are given, then we can understand the change over a period of time. So it comes to the rule in the dynasty, that also it helps. Now over here what we are describing is uh, there are certain terms when we are using to describe dates. This is your BC and this is your AD. So when I say BC, I mean before Christ. When I say AD, I mean Anno Domini. So these we use to label the number of years. Okay, and your Anno Domini is a Latin phrase, and it means the year after the Jesus Christ was born. Born. So and there are people now in recent time we are using BCE for BC and CE for AD. Okay, so BCE stands for before common era and CE stands for common era, but ideally you should make use of only these two terms only and not the other two, though we have started using these, but what we prefer using and what you will find in historical text is the use of this only. Now what does BC and AD mean? Through this chart I have tried to explain you. Now you have to divide, the important thing is birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, so that we take as 0. So before the birth of Christ we use BC. So BC stands for before Christ. Okay, today what we are living is AD, that is Anno Domini. Some people to make children understand, they say that Anno Domini you can say after the death of Christ, but that is not, that is for only to make you understand, but it is not the correct way. The proper term is Anno Domini, in the year of the Lord. Okay, because it is after the birth, so it is a year of the Lord. So if I say 10 BC, so I'll go down to this. Okay, and 10 BC, like I further can go down 10, 20, 30, 40, 500 BC, 800 BC, 4000 BC. If I'm going, so I'm going down before the birth of Jesus Christ. This is how I'm going. Here if you can see the arrow going down like this, and AD is till here and now. So what we are living is after the birth of Jesus Christ. It goes till now. All the years and further years till we are living will be considered part of AD. So this is what it is. So you when you are using, please see BC you are mentioning before Christ. AD is Anno Domini, not after the death, because that is only just to make children understand. Okay, so this you will find these two terms written, BC common era and before common era, but we have started using, but we in history books, in your present books at least, you will find use of these two. Okay, this is very important to know. Okay, we have done what who is an archaeologist. Now what is archaeology? So what is anthropology? Anthropology is about the complete study of human life and culture. Okay, so this is how it is different from the archaeology. Okay, they only study the remains, what they find, but when it comes to anthropology or anthropologists, they will study the complete culture of human life of a particular period. Now what are fossils? The remains of plants and animals are called fossils. Now when the archaeologist or anthropologist, when they are studying it, they get to know that what people in the particular period, what were they eating, what animals they had around them, and about their life. So fossil study is very important. Now there is very important method, and it has been used very popularly since its discovery, which is carbon 14. Okay, and we name it as carbon dating system. Now what is it? It actually is used in determining how old is the organic matter is that we find after the excavation. Now if you look at this chart, this clearly shows that it is decaying. So when a human or an animal or any organic matter, any plant, that it dies, the carbon 14 component that starts decreasing, and then the scientists calculated at what speed it is decreasing, and they get to know how old it is. Okay, So this method is very popular and it is used in dating things such as bones, clothes, wood and plant fibers. So biologically we can using this method we can ascertain, we can calculate how old is the thing that we have got in excavation, and it's very useful in studying history.